through another broadcasting co, of course. Anyway, guys, have a great cast. The action's ready to start. It's going to be GamerLegion versus MongolZ. Take it away.
Thanks, Rich. Yeah, GamerLegion, MongolZ, and GamerLegion's looking to complete this crazy run they've had, having to win so many series in a row. 4 best-of-3s. They went 0-2 in the RMR, coming all the way back, and now just get to extend it for MongolZ. Can they break through? That's
the thing, right? This is the MongolZ team who have, at times, been on the precipice of breaking through the next level at the biggest events. You know, earlier in the year, we had Cologne, where they lost to Saul when they could have qualified into the playoffs. Lost to them, went on to be eliminated from the tournament. So you got to get the job done now if you're the MongolZ. And I'm imagining they're going to have quite a bit of support out there in Asia.
I mean, and also, they're in a good position for it. They got 4 players in the top 6 performers of this opening stage so far. They've been absolutely on point individually, and it's lent themselves to having very strong T-sides. Flamus, okay, gets swung wide. Slen gets shut down. Good trade, but it's a 2-for-2 exchange, and now we descend into the bomb site.
Well, Blitz into the open. Damage done to Towson.
Damn.
Who still is able to manage a headshot back on Blitz. So 3v2. GamerLegion with the advantage on players, but certainly not health. And they don't have a kit to play with either into this retake. Mizinho and Senzu just playing between CT and Triple. Strong positioning for the MongolZ to close out this pistol round despite being down on players, and Senzu close on Triple. Here comes that fight forward. ZTR to eradicate Senzu immediately and put it all on Mizinho, and this monster's only got one. A headshot to ZTR, couldn't get all 3, and they'll get back to the defuse with the pistol round.
Well, there you go. It's all down to the utility in that retake with 2 players at low HP. That flashbang perfectly disconnecting the 2 MongolZ players. 2 Gushes on Volt and Towson, and they can't clean it up on the exchange.
Well, Bai coming right up here for the MongolZ, you'd imagine, with that bomb plant coming in. Despite losing the pistol, they'll have enough to get a good force buy here. Mizinho yesterday was the standout player by far on Ancient for the MongolZ.
Yeah, he was lights out. He had like 18 kills in the first half of that game, just went on an absolute tear. We'll see if he can do it again. When I saw Mirage come up in this veto, I mean, it makes sense MongolZ picking it. You get this skill in the open space of Mirage, and GamerLegion might have a tough time of it. That's what makes that utility usage in the pistol round so impressive.
Yeah, and the rest of the series looks really good for the MongolZ.
Did they throw out 2 window smokes and 1 missed?
Yeah, looks like it.
Okay, that's a miscue from the MongolZ.
Smokes in mid at the moment.
Yeah, shaky start. They'd love to have that smoke to use it later on in the round, but it's no longer obviously available. So a little bit brutal. I'm going to wait for the smoke to fade. Volt.
Mizinho on the other side of the palace smoke. Senzu just in behind him. And Volt looking to take them down, but the MP9 not good enough to remove Mizinho.
Yeah, but remember, no smoke. Now they have to kind of close the gap against this M4. They do have a lurk over in Con, over in jungle. This is not a bad setup for MongolZ. Good positions, and Towson goes down.
9-10 switches out to the rifle now. Smoke down at bottom. Con does not allow Flamus to get the trade back.
I think they're saving.
And GamerLegion starting to creep away from this, realizing the objective is not possible. So the save call set up instead.
Got to make these conservative decisions early on in your CT halves. A chance for Techno with the Deagle to add another kill on top of it. But a good round from MongolZ. Well struck, 1 kill towards Volt on the top of the balcony. You get that lurk kill in Con, and there's no access for GamerLegion. Really good round and a lot of space given over to the MongolZ to work with. Slend has been the standout player for GamerLegion, so he's the one you want to keep your eyes on in terms of his performance to be the engine for GamerLegion. Yeah. Flamus has also shown some really cool things within this team.
Yeah, and it was interesting to hear from ZTR talking about some of the impact that Flamus brings with his personality outside of server.
Damn.
And yeah, well, we heard that he's kind of the hype man for the squad. He's a really integral player when it comes to the energy. And yesterday when he was winning some important clutches, some important rounds from Flamus, he would just get hyped and bring the energy to the team. And ZTR said that's been incredibly important, especially when you're a team that are down 0-2 in the RMRs, having to come back, having to keep a strong mentality, and he's been a big part of that.
And we have to remember too, like this team, as much as they've had success to this run, another team that's kind of had to be put together from nothingness by Coach Ash and bring him forward towards the major. Been an impressive, a really impressive job that he's done with this team time and time again.
I mean, you lose Ima, you lose Shuei from that Paris run, and you've got to rebuild a project that had major final success and have to build from the ground up again. And they've gone for the avenue of taking young players and finally committing to ZTR, who was in and out of the Ninjas, stood in for the main team every now and then. I think earlier this year, we really seen some strides from him with the Metasport upset earlier on in the tournament, early on in the season rather, and now gets a chance to be the GamerLegion and game leader. And he's shown some improvements, but I think that link up between him and Ash is really seeing him elevate.
Sure, seems like Ash is able to do that with all of his players. Smoke up in the window. MongolZ progressing across the map. They're taking this round very cautiously. Want to finally win this economic battle, this struggle early on to establish themselves. Clearing out connector. Dotting the I's and crossing the T's. Not missing any detail on this progression through mid.
45 seconds left. Connector taken by Techno. He's going to peer over the top of the smoke. Not seeing too much for the time being, but the MongolZ going to respect it, take their time.
This will be another save, obviously, if this A bomb site is struck by MongolZ once this utility clears. They're going to work their way in. It's only Volt up in Palace unless he does something magical. But when MongolZ encounter no defense, it's got to be the alarm bells. It's got to be like, okay, they have a player over at ramp. The only position they have to be worried about is CT spawn and Palace. Techno going to clear hard right. Finds Flamus, and now there's no access to the bomb site yet again. So I think GamerLegion, you just fall away with these rifles and try again in the next round. Again, a simple, uncontested progression down the mid-ramp through connector.
No Volt. Able to pick up Mazinho.
Not going to be able to
He's
get that
under
gun.
a bit of pressure here from Blitz. He was aware of that possibility. For that grenade, should eradicate any opportunity for Volt, actually. Ooh. Somehow bounces back far enough to stay alive for the time being, but Blitz coming over the top, going for a little bit of a jump. Awkward fight, but eventually Blitz comes out on top of that.
All right, so 2-1 for the MongolZ, getting started strong, taking this lead out of the lost pistol rounds.
Now, when Volt obviously was playing with Into the Breach, he was talking about how GamerLegion and the project they had long term and the structure that Ash had been able to tell him that they were trying to build and the ambition that they had was the reason he selected this squad. Because I'd imagine a lot of players from that Into the Breach team were being offered better contracts than what they would have had originally, and coming here to the GamerLegion squad, he believed in the long-term project.
Well, and also, I mean, it's a cool idea, because that Into the Breach team, like, kind of saw the limitation that they had, but you also saw a lot of skill on the individual players they were they were able to unleash in Paris, and so you give that a little bit of love tactically and teach them some more fundamentals of the game and get them playing some smart Counter-Strike, and that skill can have a lot of impact, as we've been able to see from Volt.
Yeah, for GamerLegion, it's always a pragmatic approach of realizing it's going to be a long-term project, and Volt obviously realized that with taking Imma's roles, he would have to switch a little bit of how he plays and learn and adapt. And GamerLegion not necessarily having the greatest of years, you know, not the greatest of seasons, but we're starting to get into better form as this major circuit's
It's just a conversation we have all the time, is like, yeah, you can have a really rough year, but obviously the goal, especially for a lot of the teams like a GamerLegion that you put in like the tier 2 kind of area, is like, you know, that major is a point where you need to have everything kind of peaking and coming together and coalescing at that moment. And for them, it has been rewarded with such a good win streak. Patience now from the MongolZ after taking map control, and Senzu's just going to wait for players to walk into his crosshair. Here's the footsteps over in window, calls it out. Goes down, however, can't win the fight. 3 on 4, and they're going to come in and test this.
MongolZ looking to keep this one stable, but another kill from Towson. Oh, how has he got that? As he drops down from short into the connector, Blitz blasted away. And suddenly a chance for GamerLegion erupts, but there's lack of kit and lack of utility to be concerned about here for GamerLegion. But a missed shot, and 9-10 forced into the open. GamerLegion running thin on time, but MongolZ running thin on players. It's just Mazinho left in Palace. They get back into the site. CTR holding that defuse all the way, not covered by his teammate, and Volt picks up the kill, but has he picked up enough time? He's going to get to that defuse.
I think he's got it.
And it's going to be close, but he feels comfortable enough to stick on it.
Ooh.
And just about on the final tick, Volt is able to get the job done. The 1v1 against Mazinho.
Unreal. Good patience from Volt. With low HP, he really had to bait the defuse and hope and pray he'd have enough time. It just works out. That shot is...
That really shouldn't have happened.
No, absolutely not. And that's 2 that MongolZ probably feel got away from them. You go back to the pistol in that 3v3, they probably feel like that was round where they had a huge advantage. And once again, GamerLegion just snatched one away. Those multi-round saves of enough rifles to keep themselves competitive pays off. And tie things up at 2. And over the flames, 9-10 finds Volt.
A great boost. A great way to open up the proceedings in round 5 with a kill here for the MongolZ. Reaction for GamerLegion to send 2 players a little bit more aggressive short, with Flamus applying pressure into the underpass from connector.
There's been a lot of love in middle from MongolZ, so you can understand GamerLegion want to contest it. They just don't want to keep giving up this ramp and access to Con for free. Techno timing is everything. Flamus has slid out. Oh, I never expected it, never saw it, but Blitz is still here.
Out comes 910. Spots the head of the ticket box player, but Slend, he has been the standout for GamerLegion. Looking to deliver again. With his teammate going down, there's more pressure on this op to deliver. As the MongolZ are up a player and Mully's going in towards CT, things heating up. But Towson, he was the difference maker in the last round when he's coming around the back, but he's been noisy about it. And 910 is scoped up and ready to claim his life. Now just 2 for GamerLegion left, both committed towards the CT position, and the MongolZ should not let this one slip.
Yeah, a lot of bodies for MongolZ still on the map as well, so I mean, there's an opportunity for 910 to take that really hardcore committed angle to watching the flank. Smoke to obscure the vision. These guys, ETR and Slend, feeling like they're about to get hunted. Really uncomfortable in this scenario. Nade rains in. ZTR is going to try and keep some space, but it doesn't matter. Spam down, and remember, that bomb's going to go off as well. ZTR, no chance to back away from this. And the pinch coming in.
Defends his life against one, but eventually traded out. $2,000 average here for GamerLegion and the majority of players. And so not enough to get a very comfortable buy going into the next round. So the MongolZ withstand. Obviously a round they shouldn't have lost in the previous, but they make sure they bounce back immediately after. Yeah,
outside of those hiccups, this T side is looking solid in these first 5 rounds of play.
Yeah, you mentioned the T side here for MongolZ. You said it was good earlier. Well, for the MongolZ, they've had the best T side of any team this season out of the teams attending the major. A 56% win rate on T rounds. It's been incredible so far this year for their T side. And a big part of that, obviously, Blitz is calling, but it's just how effective they are at trading, it feels like, Jason. They're such an exciting team to watch in that respect.
Yeah, they've got a lot of talent spread across the team. And obviously this whole season has been a learning experience for them. They started this year like ranked 20th, and the whole story of the MongolZ this year has been breaking in and breaking that barrier of rising up and being able to compete with the tier 1 teams. They finally broke into the top 10 just a couple of weeks ago. Just been on a really good rise and figuring out and learning how to play the game the way the best teams in the world do. And it's showing once again, peaking at the major.
And making money too, Jason. One
making
of the top
money.
Earning teams. One of the top earning teams this year.
That's true. Love to see it. Now you got those stickers. Round 6. Unarmored pistols for GamerLegion. They finally have to back away and just concede that they won't have the firepower to stop anything. Good shot. Takes off the head of Slend.
Back-to-back rounds now, and 910's been able to get a pick out of the ramp to open things up. Not expected to see much resistance here from GamerLegion. You mentioned the major attendances. I was actually really surprised to see how many majors Techno, Blitz, and Mara have attended.
Techno, this is his 4th, I believe, right?
5th major.
5th major.
Blitz will be on 5 as well, and their coach, Mara, a 5th major attended. But for everybody else, it's their 2nd.
It's not bad. I think Techno's, what, like 19, 20 years old as well? Like, he's that's a good time for him. There's connector utility showing mid-control. MongolZ trying to flush these USPs out of their hiding places and being patient.
Yeah, MongolZ don't want to lose anybody here, limit the casualties because of the damage that was inflicted upon them 2 rounds prior. They want to make sure that they recover, stabilize the money here.
It's going to be interesting to see what the next gun round is for GamerLegion, because the MongolZ have given a lot of attention and a lot of love to this A bomb site. They haven't really messed with B site. They've gone through Con. They've obviously come out Palace and A ramp a number of times. This against unarmored pistols should be an easy one for them to win. Good trade, but won't be able to build upon it. But moving forward, how does GamerLegion want to gear their defense? They just took a timeout before this round to talk things over. Do you want to stack up at that A bomb site early? Do you want to continue with the mid presence on your CT side? Are you expecting a switch up from MongolZ to hit the B bomb site? When does that come into play? MongolZ at the moment in the driver's seat and are really the ones dictating that GamerLegion have to make a decision and have to make some adjustments.
Slend would have felt like his first time getting the AWP out on this map was disappointing. He got trapped at ticket, he got stuck behind utility, all of his teammates went down on the bomb site before he really felt like he could get impact. So he's going to be searching to get this AWP into play in the 2nd round, and this time changing up his play. He's going up to the window, looking for that opening pick. And not going to win it. 910, 3 rounds in a row that he's got that opening pick on the AWP.
And now we get the ramp push. They want to see exactly what's happening. 910's got another one delivering in the middle of the map. And maybe now GamerLegion wish they had put more resources in middle because they've just been abused. Mazzinho's going to build on top of it. A beautiful round for the MongolZ.
And this T-side power continues for the MongolZ. But they're fighting back here. GamerLegion, they've got the numbers to a 2v3 deficit instead, and Volt has got another one out towards ramp. When all look lost, GamerLegion find a way back in. 9-10 continuing to be their reckoning, though. Another kill in middle, make that 3, and Volt stuck on low HP, 15 health to his name. He'll go back into the ramp. There's time here for the MongolZ to comfortably pick that bomb up. They've got plenty of utility as well. 9-10 to punch the digits in, and a post plant will be played. Volt, last detected towards ramp, is now relocated to Palace.
Yeah, and I mean, they know exactly where he can come from. Potentially there's a chance he wrapped all the way around towards Khan, but they can wait for the timing. And everyone evacuates. Mazinho, though, he's actually put himself... no, it's planted on the side, so he should be fine rotating over towards jungle. This post plant's going to be near impossible for Volt. He does have a smoke, but no kit. And actually, he could defuse inside the bomb site. He's just got no idea where they are. And that round is all 9-10. 4 kills, 3 of them with the AWP, the opening frag, cracking open the middle of the map, taking down Slend on the other side. And MongolZ starting to run up the scoreboard.
GamerLegion, that old familiar sting of being sent down to USPs again. No money to play with. Another round guaranteed coming right up here for the MongolZ. And 6-2 on the T side of Mirage. This is the power that the MongolZ possess. When they begin their march, barely anybody can stop them. We got to see them yesterday dispatch of MIBR in easy fashion. And the great thing about this team, Jason, it doesn't feel like there's like one standout individual. Some say it's Senzu. Occasionally that can be true. But it feels like there's always an opportunity for one of these players to step up and take over the server. 9-10, Mazinho yesterday. Now Mazinho's alongside him, 9-4. It's a great start from those 2 individual players, and that's one of the strengths that MongolZ have.
And they could be patient in this round. Up catwalk we go. First real probe towards this B bomb site. First love for these B defenders, and gotta be frustrating. It's a round in which they only have pistols and deagles and no chance to fight back. Techno's off, just raining down death from a distance.
Oh, great shot again, 9-10 to deal with Slend, leaving Volt as the only remaining player. He'll do what he can with a 5-7. Doesn't go down without a fight.
And now you have an issue where the MongolZ are starting to build up a lot of money. 11,000, just under it on 9-10. Plenty of money to rebuy for the other MongolZ riflers. And if your GamerLegion struggling to win a single round, the prospect of winning 2 or 3 in a row to take all that money away is looking far away at the moment. 4-round lead for the MongolZ. Looking to go 3-0 in this opening stage. Qualify for the Elimination Stage.
And tactical timeout here for GamerLegion, getting worried about this first half. There were opportunities presented earlier, in particular from Towson, who was able to get that miraculous double kill as he jumped off short with the M4. They had MongolZ money on the ropes, but unable to capitalize on that chance and turn it into a couple of rounds in a row. Allowed MongolZ to win cleanly in the follow-up, and they stabilized their money from that point onwards.
And they have a bigger problem too, where it's like we've seen them play passively and give some room over to MongolZ, and they've been able to exploit that by getting into mid and getting into connector pretty much unharassed. And then you've seen them play more aggressive and peaky and challenging, and Slend's been picked off twice, towards catwalk, towards window by the AWP of 9-10. So both passive and aggressive styles of defending the middle of the map have really failed GamerLegion so far in these first 8 rounds. And that's a really tough thing to have to get around, to have to move around and say, okay, well, how do we actually fix this? 4 players in middle, a lot of bodies. They're going to maintain that aggression early on. MongolZ is not home, and this time they've geared up a heavy play towards the B bomb site. 2 in halls. At the moment, just a default. They can reconvene and go elsewhere.
Flash into mid. Senzu got caught by it slightly. Still results in a kill as the follow-up flash completely blinded Flamis. Towson able to get one back, but Slend again dead at the hand of 9-10.
And this time they do, again, it's a different look in middle that still goes wrong. Good job from ZTR to find the kill on Techno. This time it kind of, you have aggressive elements of a mid defense, but it's sort of a trap. You want the follow-up players playing passively to peek off those aggressive players' contact, and MongolZ is still ready for that as well. They've managed to keep it even at 3-3. Knife out for both players.
Knife out for ZTR, but Blitz pulls out his AK-47 and jumps out of the window, but Towson, he slipped into the net. There's no way, they know about him, so Towson gets a double kill and flips this round back. 9-10, low in HP, 24 health in the apartments, and caught this time by Volt. So Towson, once again, with impact in a round victory for GamerLegion.
Yeah, MongolZ expected that bomb site to be open after that player's trying to push through the smoke a little bit. Awkward engagement as comes on through with knife out. But Towson is just chilling, and no reason for MongolZ to think he's going to be there unprepared.
Yeah, think about 2 of the rounds the GamerLegion have won out of the 3. It's Towson with the multi-kills. He's keeping him in the start of this half. Now they have to try and build on it. Still a chance to tie up the scoreline. I like this, a direct hit being set up here for the MongolZ, an A execution.
I mean, there's the first bright spot for this GamerLegion defense. If you stopped their B play. You kind of neutralized mid and stopped them from attacking into the B bomb site. So back to A we go for MongolZ, and everyone's going to be locked out behind these smokes. Spam coming through, a little bit of chip damage, superficial. Senzu brought down to 83, but they have bomb site control, and it's all about the retake for GamerLegion. They'll have advantage of utility. And now the... Oh no, I take it back.
Oh, Senzu gets a double kill. ZTR able to fight back, and all that util goes down in the body of Towson. There's one kit left. It's on the body of Flamus, and it's now down outside of Connector. So ZTR and Slen do not break through on that initial thrust, and the retake is stalled out.
Yeah, you can't go for it now. When they have jungle control and Connector and window control, the kit is down. You have to back away and just save. Defensive smoke deployed just so they can get over to the B bomb site, and MongolZ know exactly what's happening. Blitz already on the hunt over in the B halls. Same with Mizzino. They're willing to risk some money to take these weapons out of the hands of GamerLegion, but I don't think they'll get there in time.
Nade will. Sland holding on, and let's get the AWP into the next, but ZTR died. They lose one of those remaining members. Fortunately, the most expensive weapon is able to remain, but we are yet to see that off have any impact in this half.
Yeah, maybe why Slend isn't peeking there towards the end. He's just like, God bless, I just want to save this off. There's no reason for me to peek, and it leaves ZTR to get shot in the back. This is a brutal half so far from the MongolZ. Looking really clean, T-side Mirage. Mid-utility out again. And Slend has missed the jump, missed the opportunity to make an aggressive play on Catwalk, so he's going to reposition.
Senzu has control of middle, and he sees it's quiet. No one from GamerLegion challenging, no utility. And so the MongolZ can feel comfortable about moving through the underpass with Techno and Blitz. ZTR is just waiting for some utility, some signs of life, and he'll toss his smoke out to bottom con. 1 minute on this clock as Flamus made his play through the smoke, touched the fire, and so Flamus gives away his sound cue and is immediately taken out. But it's this Blitz play. He's threaded his way through the murder hole. He's got in behind, and this AWP is about to be under a lot of pressure again. And I don't think Slend is going to enjoy this half of Counter-Strike because he's gone once more. Blitz is going to lock it in. Slend is down. It goes back into the peak, into the market, but fortunately, ZTR is still able to withstand with a 5-7.
And that's really good job by Blitz, kind of controlling the way that round plays out, saying, I'm flanking, I'm in market, I'm ready for the backstab. Throw utility. Make sure the Opera's attention is towards B halls. Make sure I have an easy kill. And look at them finding all the gaps in this defense. Senzu just going to take the kill.
GamerLegion just lost. They don't know where MongolZ are. They don't know what they've lost. They don't know where the MongolZ are going to be. Just appear behind them.
This is the best competition GamerLegion has played up against. They did play FURIA in the best of one to start this opening stage with a victory there. But Pain, Bet Boom, Sinners, Falcons, Unity, all taken down on their path to this point in the major. MongolZ, the stiffest competition they face yet, and they're really starting to show their quality and how far ahead they are. Good kill from ZTR. Not going to get away. 9-10, Tech 9 at range.
Yeah, I think that point that you've brought up about the run that they've had, the teams that they've beaten, is really important context, because on one side you look at FURIA, the name value, the players, etc., but they haven't been playing the greatest Counter-Strike. We've seen that so far here at the major. So you have to definitely put into context. Sure, GamerLegion is impressive. They've been able to come back off the precipice of elimination. But it's the fact that, yeah, not necessarily played the greatest teams to get here yet. And right now getting found out by the MongolZ. Surely this is the round where Slen gets something done with the AWP, Jason.
I don't know, man. It's another A execute, and once again, they're going to be stuck behind all the smokes. Last time this happened, Slend was aggressive towards, or excuse me, Senzu was aggressive towards Ticket to get 2 kills, but once again, they have to back away. And yeah, Slend, he's been knocked off his game so far in this map. 2 misses, 2 chances at a kill he absolutely needed, had to have. And bomb site control once again to the Mongols. And GamerLegion, last round of the half, you're going for this.
Well, the eruption of the Mongols in this first half has been too much for GamerLegion to weather. Techno goes aggressive in towards CT. Senzu to clear up bottom stairs. Flamus needs a moment. He comes through. The bottom of the stairs, traded by Senzu. 2 coming back through CT. Slen finally chiming in with that AWP, but he needs a clutch, and he's got it into 1v1, and Slen finally, right at the end, delivers a round for GamerLegion. The AWP will find its impact, even if it is the final round.
He needed that so much. We saw the misses in the previous round, in the round, or excuse me, this round coming out of Palace. We saw the number of times he was picked off. He needed some kind of feel-good moment going into the second half. It's not nearly enough, as the Mongols are going to switch over to the defensive side. 4 rounds punctuated throughout the half, never stringing them together. Mongols feeling good, looking good, everything's going well. Another day in the office.
Yeah, quite a popular 3-0 team, and I think that's actually a beautiful thing to look at, that the community sentiment around Asian Counter-Strike has changed because of this team, right? This is a team that came from a region that has always been considered weaker, certainly has been over the years, and we were just waiting for the time where finally an Asian team will rise up and consistently compete at these events. And now the expectations have risen for MongolZ. It isn't just, oh, they were upsetting at the start of seasons at Katowice, they get some big names, they eliminate a team you expect to move through to the next stage. Now it is a team that we start to consider as a roster should be taking the next step, and we're all kind of waiting for that moment.
Yeah, well, it's looking good. The moment is right now, on the verge of qualifying 3-0, as you mentioned. And then we get to see what they can do against the big dogs, what they've learned throughout the year to close out their season with a beautiful run at the major. 8-4. Dooley's picked up on Mazinho and Techno.
Blitz will await their presence in mid.
It doesn't look like he's waiting too much.
No, he will take the aggressive stance. He wants to find him.
Oh, no way.
Into the underpass, just absolutely blasts away. Flamus gets info on the mid push as well.
Yeah, gets info. The bomb is there, moving up catwalk. He's the only player in mid. Everyone else, 2 players at each bomb site. Blitz is just the one controlling and keeping information on the middle of the map. And now that he's found a kill, oh dear.
Oh, no.
Missed piece of utility is going to provide nothing for GamerLegion. Good pick, though, from the P250 of Slend. He started warming up. He had that great final round of the first half. He can add a little bit more now.
Well, the Joel Beretta's win around the corner, and they unleash. Techno with 3, no problem for the Julies. And once again, he earns the title of the 4K.
Unreal. Good sequence from Techno. No ability to trade. That shot's ridiculous to start things off. And even Slend's pick towards the A bomb site. Nobody budges. Everyone stays at their site, and Techno delivers. #1 rated player of this opening stage. Quad kill in the pistol hasn't really been needed, but he delivers when called upon. And Tech 9s for GamerLegion.
Back 10 for Slend. Not looking pretty. Well, the majority of the forces outside of the A site. And CTR trying to send a little bit of pressure in mid, but here comes the A play right into Mazinho. He moves forward to try and help his teammates, but 9-10 distracted, pulled away from eyes at the connector, but fortunately Blitz is just a beast. So 3 kills for that MP9, stalls out any chances of GamerLegion getting involved in this round, and now it's ETR left on 16 HP. It is an ended round for the GamerLegion side. Yeah,
and unfortunately with no plant, they really can't keep up that pressure. Maybe if you're feeling like this is so far out of reach, you just continue with the Tech 9 buys and hope you get a miracle out of it, but MongolZ have shut you down. Comprehensive victory for the MongolZ from start to finish thus far, and it's looking like nothing is going to change that.
And you look at the other maps in the series too, it just feels very good for the MongolZ.
MongolZ have a huge advantage in the map veto process. I mean, especially when you consider the quality of teams they've played against, the experience they can get across the board in the map pool.
Yeah, I mean, one of the talking points about GamerLegion coming into this event was the fact that they are one of the teams, the only team that really that plays a true 7-map pool. They banned all 7 maps first in a best of 3 at least once in July. That's according to Skybox Edge. And unfortunately for them, it doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot when you're playing against weaker opposition, right? Sure, you can be willing to play these 7 maps against the teams at a tier 2 or 3 level, but how deep is your map pool really when you take that next step up?
Yeah, it's never going to be that way. Maybe you throw something in as a trick, but it's never truly going to be something you can carry on, you know, in top competition. It's just so hard to maintain a focus level across the entire pool. Nice that you can play it, you can add it in if you feel like you need to, or if you need something tricky. For now, obviously, they're feeling real comfortable on their own pick of Mirage. Anubis is going to be coming up next, which GamerLegion chose to head to.
And ZTR, he won't be cleaned up by that spray. Instead, Senzu has to come and sweep him under the rug. So 11-4 scoreline. The Mongols continuing their barrage and their brutalization of the GamerLegion squad. AKs come out for the last hurrah.
Yeah, the last real attempt at getting into this game. 7 rounds back. It has to be now. Couple timeouts taken in the first half from Ash and GamerLegion to try and get them in the swing of things. It hasn't worked. Mongols have just been way too on point across the board. Mid-utility, but it's going to hit a bomb site very quickly. Volt can't get it done. Nobody there to follow up due to the Molotov, due to the utility. And now they're stuck at ramp. The mid-prong of the attack is just now making its first move. But already a man advantage with no damage dealt. Mongols have the luxury of being able to be patient with this man advantage. Nobody budging for any kind of a peek, waiting for the GamerLegion to step into them. Another miss smoke. That's, well, we saw one from Mongols in the first half. We've seen 2 smokes missed by GamerLegion so far early in the second half.
Oh, 9-10. Tick of damage. Audio cue alerts Flamis to his position, and so a flash comes in.
I'm surprised he didn't fall back after that tick.
A little bit too bold from 9-10. Slam heating things up at the ticket box. CTR comes flying up, and Senzu's eradicated swing from CTR towards CT is punished by Mazinho. GamerLegion stay fixated towards the A bomb site. The plant coming in on the other side of triple. And this is still doable for the Mongols as utility flies into the sky. As Flam is caught, blitzing with double back. And that's why they call him one of the best fragging in-game leaders. And Techno is set on a pedestal to close. And it'll end up being a 12th round map point here for the Mongols on Mirage. GamerLegion needed to win that one. And there just is no life in this Legion of gamers.
I mean, they just never expected that retake to come in so fast. A little bit of disorganization. Not even disorganization, just getting into their position, expecting to have a few more seconds before that retake really began. But good piece of utility to activate Blitz. Towson doesn't have the angle. Flamis just gets caught trying to reposition in towards Khan, and an easy cleanup for the MP9. Up on 9-10, 12-4, 8 chances to close out this opening map of the series. Not much to really say about GamerLegion.
Nope.
Unfortunately, that's the real bummer of this, is as good as they've looked on this run to recover the RMRs to get to this position, this has just been so dominant that it's hard to look at the positives.
Divided. In this round, at least been able to fight their way out of B. So Volt with a great headshot on towards Techno into the bomb site. So Plant is coming in. 3v2. Mongols have gone for retakes, but there's not a whole lot of money left over here.
I think they're just going to go and see if they can get a kill early on if someone offers it up to him. 9-10's already backing away with the op. Mazzino's just eyeing that AK-47.
Dude, there we go. He's got the AK. He can slip away. 9-10 will cover the swing. And a 5th round for GamerLegion. Great opening from ZTR as he was aggressive in middle. Through the smoke, he was able to pick it up. But by brute force, they get into B.
Yeah, and I mean, they've noticed that in the early going, Mongols hasn't had to do anything about it. They haven't really been playing aggressive in middle outside of Blitz, just kind of jumping down in the pistol round. So feeling like they've got some space to work with there, and it nets them their first round of this second half. But a long way to go still. Another buy will come in for the Mongols. Mazzino can drop, Techno can buy himself, and actually goes for the double op setup.
Yeah, that's the worrying part for GamerLegion. You can win that round, but it doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot when you've been able to go on any sort of streaks or string rounds together here, and MongolZ have another good buy. In fact, they are flush with cash, so a double upset it comes out. Well, let's see how this goes. Is it the winning recipe on Mirage for the MongolZ? Mazinho,
the timing.
down the ladder. Volt has actually slipped out at the perfect time. He's going to catch 9-10, but will they check for Mazinho? They do. They look at him, but they can't deal with him. It's Mazinho with a second headshot. MongolZ 2 at the door. But ZTR and Flam is still with fight left in them yet.
You can see the desperation of GamerLegion starting to make very, very crazy plays, and MongolZ aren't expecting it just yet. But they're settling it down into a 2v2.
Bomb's
Good
down.
kills, and Bomb has dropped way, way far back. So ZTR is going to be really sad. He has to give up his strong lurk position in middle. Going to open up the avenue for Senzu to be involved from Catwalk. And a lot of time for the MongolZ to reconvene and figure out how they want to play this. Looks like they're thinking perhaps that GamerLegion fell all the way back.
Oh, Techno. Good awareness, but Smoke is going to go deep. He's going to walk in front of it. He has a chance here. A little bit awkward for Techno as that Smoke expanded a little bit further than he would have liked, and Flamus continued to try and fight. They want a duel with Techno, but he's confident, and he knows that he can win these fights. He gets around the corner as well, untraded by ZTR, and now the in-game leader can't stop them. And so Mirage will go the way of the MongolZ. They take first blood. They begin to ride. And for GamerLegion, there was no stopping them when they began their stride.
That's a great indication of how this map has gone for GamerLegion. You feel that should be a clean fight for ZTR. Just fumbles the initial contact. And man, MongolZ dominant from start to finish. A statement win in this opening map.
Couldn't agree more, Jason. A statement, and the statement is...
By 9-10, out impacted by 9-10. Senzu had some really good entries. Mazinho again is continuing his form from yesterday. You have so many positives to talk about out of the MongolZ camp, and when you go over to GamerLegion, you're like, we didn't see any of the stuff that's got them to this point. We didn't see anything that makes them a dangerous team.
And they're obviously going to have had that conversation in this break as well, saying that we didn't get to show what we're capable of. And this is going to be a mental reset coming into map 2 of this. MongolZ on the T side start, GamerLegion on the CT side. And we know if MongolZ get out to a lead, they can really build this T side up. So it's really important that GamerLegion stop a good start here from the MongolZ.
All right, Pistol Round is live. 3 flashes, a smoke, and a kit for the GamerLegion defense. Smoke, flash on Blitz for the MongolZ attack in the Pistol Round. Lurker outside the B bomb site. 4 players headed over towards A very, very quickly, and it's only 1 player. It's Towson to defend.
Yeah, the young Dane at heaven alone.
Techno's just listening for sound cues. Audibly running all the way to A main, throwing the flashbang, seeing if he can hear any footsteps of someone panic rotating for an A call. But nobody's moved, and MongolZ are coming right back into this stack. The question is, can GamerLegion keep their nerve?
Now, how long will they be patient? How long will they hold this stack in place? The MongolZ silently move through middle. Senzu at the front. Blitz and 9-10 follow in behind.
And I mean, this is kind of cool for MongolZ. Obviously, a ton of space being given over by this sort of a setup, but also you have a lurker in A main, you have a lurker outside B main, and this 3-man attack. It's got options if they run into any kind of difficulty. But the weird thing is going to be they kind of have to just make a blind decision at this point. There's been no information gathered.
Towson's even starting to get a little bit paranoid. He's going back to check the beach, wondering, where are the MongolZ players? What is the gap? And as soon as that A player moves out of heaven, they start to move the bomb through camera. Towson comes back, but is he going to be able to get something done? Great headshot onto 9-10, and the decision to drop back into storage and play from the beach keeps his life intact. Now, GamerLegion have got a kit and plenty of utility to play retake into this A site.
How does MongolZ want to control the situation, though? I think Techno would have heard the footsteps and saying, they're all flanking. They're all flanking A main. You've got to turn and watch that. So they're just going to smoke it off for the moment and force GamerLegion to come through.
And Towson remains patient. He hasn't gone back to the camera. He's still waiting to re-enter storage, waiting on the contact. But Techno on that flank takes Towson out, and now the fights go down inside of the site. And it's all coming up for the post plant. GamerLegion toppling at the hands of the MongolZ once again in a pistol round. A great pistol silently leading up to the A finish.
Yeah, wonderfully played from the MongolZ. And I mean, obviously the benefit of a stack towards the B bomb site means there was no resistance, no ability for GamerLegion to track them. And man, those lurkers activated. Whichever side of the map they went to, someone was going to be able to have an impact. And absolutely perfect from MongolZ. Smoking off A main, information gathered from Techno really sealed that round in their favor. That was an issue on Mirage as well, so we'll have to keep track of that throughout this T-side, was the inability of GamerLegion to stop the MongolZ when they took control of the middle of the map, when they attacked into the middle of the map. Obviously this round with no one home, it was very, very easy, but that might be something that we have to keep track of and look at as the gun rounds begin. Full eco for this CT side. Very cautious round from the MongolZ. Nobody probing anything, just utility. Starting to clear into A main right now. There can be a quick reaction from GamerLegion when they hear this bomb site being taken, but again, just no firepower to really do anything about it.
Here comes the execute. Spoken to the camera, going to be disrespected by GamerLegion. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. So they go flying through it. And a little bit of offer from Zinho. Too many targets. At least got one. Should be cleaned up by Senzu with his limited cover around the pillar at the fountain and his teammate 9-10 helping out. So just Slant on the bricks, getting some damage done.
It's a great round from MongolZ in the sense that they're not trying to press the issue. They're not trying to like push forward and win the round on that execute and take over the bomb site. They know they have the advantage of range with the rifles, just staying far, far back, letting those USPs swing and take whatever fights they want, and using the advantage to their benefit. 2-0. M4s come out for GamerLegion on the CT side. First test of what this defense can mount in terms of resistance. This is a qualification series as well, a 2-0 match between these two teams. The winner moves on to the Elimination Stage 3-0. MongolZ, with a dominant victory on Mirage, have the perfect opportunity to do just that.
Yeah, and a team that has been in stunning form ever since they lost to ENCE back in Finland. From that point onwards, they picked up a tournament. Went to the Asian RMR, came through as the favorites in comfortable fashion. Opened up the major with a 13-2 victory on Anubis over Rare Atom. And defeated MIBR comfortably 13-6.
A lot of Molotovs spent in middle. One of them actually missed. Didn't completely clear out over towards the door, but nobody's home. ZTR steps up behind his smoke, blinded. Towson comes to join him, but all the counter defensive utility is spent.
Two defenders inside of the B bomb site. Flamus playing towards Glyphs. Volt on the platform, his teammate getting mollied out. The MongolZ still respecting the connector smoke for the time being. They haven't gone committed through it. 45 seconds, the flank from ZTR. That's the bomb carrier that was close to him, but ZTR does not continue his push and instead looks down through the window to see if he can spot out Mazinho.
Oh, timing's just not with him whatsoever. Oh, it will be now.
Here it is.
Will
Here's
be now.
The timing.
Yeah,
Mazinho
nice
gets
and
caught
easy.
looking the wrong way. The Swede able to chime in. Volt off the back of the platform, removes Techno. And 30 seconds left for the MongolZ to piece this together through a 3v5. And it just looks unlikely now that they've spent their utility. Volt can continue to play protected in behind, and oh, they've got 2 kills back, but will they check for Volt? Will they check for him? They're still looking right at his position because he took one of their teammates down earlier, and so finally that trade comes in. A 2v1 setup off the back of this, and that plank comes in. A 3v5 that the MongolZ have now turned back into a favorable post-plant position. Towson does not have a kit, nor does he have any utility, and he is now down by the in-game leader of the MongolZ as they flip this one back from a 3v5 to a 3-0 scoreline.
That's such a nice slow hit, the 3v5 recovery. It looked like they were going to be able to just dominate and barrel over that bomb site on the initial throw of utility, but MongolZ wanted to play it safe and not come through that con smoke. And still are just able to mop things up at the B bomb site later on. Creeping in with contact, 3-0. Once again, GamerLegion's defense unable to mount anything in resistance. Light armor picked up, MP9 upgraded pistols.
I mean, if you've had a frustrating game on Mirage and you feel like you didn't get into it, those kind of rounds are going to sting. And MongolZ had no utility, Jason, in that 3v5, but they still were able to pull it back so cleanly.
I think part of the issue is GamerLegion kind of scared at that B bomb site. They themselves without a whole lot of utility. They, you realize the attack has, has connector open from canals, has B main open, and it's kind of hard to, you didn't seem like they were really motivated to peek and take any fights at range. MongolZ was able to kind of slide in quietly and dictate all those fights. And like with 3 players there, trap never sprung. First kill comes so quickly, nobody can play off the contact.
Well, there's a chance here for GamerLegion with 3 players committed to A main. Flamus is playing anti-flash, looking into the corner. And that molly goes deep enough that it won't affect Flamus and Taliesin. But they missed their opportunity to pounce on one of the MongolZ players in the default.
It might not be bad if they push now. I mean, no one's out there at the moment. Still 3 players dedicated to this, but with Blitz wrapping behind him, and as the IGL, he's doing a good job of finding information, saying, okay, this looks clear, this looks clear. 1 player in the bomb site, 3 over in A main.
But does he start calling them back?
Yeah, he might.
Come back.
This could be a disaster, not anymore. Thankfully, that kill comes out, and now the push from A main is spotted. A second player by 9-10. He sees him over in canals. Oh, tough route to run.
Seen the follow-up player in behind as well. Ooh, getting a little dangerous now, but Volt inside a connector. 5-7 with the bomb carrier falling. That's the bomb down, and an AK now given over to the Romanian. And let's see what he's able to get done with this AK. The answer to that is nothing on the follow-up, but Slen certainly will from the canal himself. 8 seconds. They've got to start planting real soon, and Flamus is coming to try and deny. They've got to start planting. Oh, he fumbled it. Oh, no. Techno. Oh, he can't plant there, buddy. And so they had enough time for the plant, just not putting it down in the right position. And GamerLegion given a gift.
Given a gift, that's a mistake from Mizinho. As good as a tournament he's had, a small mistake with huge consequences, going into dark to clear it alone with the bomb.
Well, dropping the bomb plant as well was another mistake.
Yeah, there's another one.
Consider.
Right, but you're not even in that situation if you're Techno, if that bomb doesn't drop, right? You have to take time to go clear out towards canals as well. GamerLegion execute a very nice flank, and with 9-10 even getting dinked up, he didn't really have motivation to be aggressive to stop any more players coming canals. GamerLegion get away with one, and now MongolZ pick up the pace. ZTR tracks down Blitz.
Eventually. Here comes Mizinho out of B main. Flamus in front of him. Khalil goes in, nips at his heels. Volt on the follow-up needs to hold with a might of 2 men. And he's got himself a double at the back of the obelisk, and finally dealt with by Senzu.
Bomb's going to come in late. A little bit more utility needs to be chucked out to help with the cross. He can chuck the bomb over as well. Molotov comes into the site. Default plant. 9-10's going to slide into that fight and take it with ease. Now he knows the follow-up reaction as well. Thankfully spotted out by Taliesin, and he wants nothing to do with that fight. 2-on-2. No kit, but they have to go for it.
Locked out for the time being, but that fire fades away. And GamerLegion moving in on this retake attempt.
The follow-up reaction as well. Thankfully spotted out by Taliesin, and he wants nothing to do with that fight. 2-on-2. No kit, but they have to go for it.
Locked out for the time being, but that fire fades away. And GamerLegion moving in on this retake attempt. 9-10 looking towards B main, but they're both coming out from the temple. And now he'll be locked in on that angle. 9-10 connects another shot. Slen left going into the open. Missed shot from 9-10. Slen under pressure. And Senzu makes sure that he gets the squeeze. It's 4-1 here for the MongolZ.
Yeah, well handled. That's a 4v5 converted after Blitz comes through the smoke. And this time they just pick up the pace. A lurk smoke over towards B main. And miscommunication on those defenders. The early defense at this B bomb site is looking like they're not well coordinated. This is all individual from Volt. Him and Flamus, they need to have a better coordination of how that lurk smoke is going to be handled. I don't think Flamus realized that Volt didn't have his back of anyone sliding through it, and it makes for an easy entrance and easy trades coming into the B bomb site.
A little bit of speed behind this from Senzu. But they've got that A main control nice and early. You don't need to commit. It's just an option opened up to them.
They got this. They did the same thing back in the pistol, right? Hustled into A main control, now doing it in the gun round. And it's nothing crazy because they don't want to push past it, but it is putting a lot of pressure on a defense that doesn't have a whole lot of utility to play with.
They actually move forward, try and take that back. And so GamerLegion go back into A main. If the Mongols don't leave a player there hanging around with a possibility of going down, they maintain the 5v5.
One smoke remaining for the Mongols. This is very similar to the only round they lost. A low buy, half buy from GamerLegion a couple rounds back. And once again, GamerLegion gonna reconvene and have multiple players at the B bomb site. There's that last smoke used by the Mongols over towards Temple to give mid some access. But they're really looking for this final play to be the B bomb site. Perhaps not now that the bomb is spotted early.
Now they'll come into A, realize there is no one home. And so that bomb can make its way safely through camera. And the plant will come in just a moment here for the Mongols, and GamerLegion will realize their stack has not paid off towards the B bomb site. They could catch Techno out here on the T-Stars, but he's put himself in a position where he hasn't involved a lot of risk. He heads out to the rugs. They've been spotted rather by Mizinho on the A main push, and so Techno can now start looking towards the stairs as they crunch on these pistols. And it'll work out for Mizinho on a double kill. Techno's got one of his own. And Slen just hoping that he can make something happen with that Deagle, but Techno just charges right into him, removes his life, and Towson's left at the beans.
Yeah, Slen's expecting a wider swing than that. Very narrow angle taken from Techno. Good mechanics. Blitz the only one to fall so far. Towson is going to have a chance, but can't get it done. 5-1. Mongols taking a very strong lead T-side Anubis. Haven't seen the AWP come out yet from Slend. They haven't had the funds for it, and once again, like he can get it if he wants to go glass cannon. It depends on how important they feel the AWP is to this defensive success. Timeout taken.
Conversation will be had right now in this timeout. Another weak defense being shown by GamerLegion, but also continuing a strong T side from the Mongols. I love how they can push, pull, accelerate, slow down. Always in control, it feels like. See them burst towards A main and slowly slink their way back middle and take info through camera, manipulating the defense. It's beautiful to watch in the Mongols.
I mean, doing a lot in these like kind of like lower buy rounds. The one gun round, the Blitz tried to hustle through that mid smoke. He got taken down early. But GamerLegion not putting any presence there in the low buy rounds, and Mongols really exploiting it to be able to explore both of the maps, or both the bomb sites, excuse me. Not maps. It's just one map.
Well, they might be winning both maps today, Jason.
They might
Mirage
be.
And Anubis.
It's looking likely, isn't it?
It certainly is. These Mongols set their sights on that coveted 3-0. Here goes Mizinho charging in towards A main. Another start similar for the Mongols where they take A main control.
Yeah, because you just put so much pressure on these guys early on. Towson's holding a smoke for the moment, but you prevent them from being aggressive. You know there's not any kind of a push coming in. Techno, easy find. Volt trying to get aggressive before a flashbang comes out. That Molotov, Flamus wants nothing to do with it. He knows stepping in front of it is going to be dangerous. So Techno controlling the bomb site late. Mid-round retake of A main for the CTs for GamerLegion, and Mizinho this time wants the flashbang. He comes a little bit early to go through, and Towson got vision. But that's information. And look at the way Blitz uses it to step up in mid, and this GamerLegion defense is scrambling to plug the gaps that are created.
And one player here to defend. It's Flamus, 0-5 so far. Waiting inside a connector. He's paranoid about a drop into mid from Blitz, or a player waiting in the corner to come into the connector. But instead, he is met with flames from the B main side of the site. And the plant is already coming through.
Ooh.
He's going to try and fight this. His teammates are coming in. He hasn't given away his life, and he hasn't given away his position, but now he needs to step up. Now he needs to win some of these fights, and he's missing everything. 9-10 goes to deal with him, and the AWP just penetrates his chest. CTR to go down as well, and the Mongols are fueled with confidence.
This is a round that's a really good indication of the growth that the Mongols have experienced throughout this year, right? You see that retake of A main. Even though Mizinho goes down, he calls two players, one to throw the flash, one to take him down, which prompts Blitz to get a little bit aggressive in middle. And once you pick that off, you realize, let's hit the B bomb site. There's 3 players remaining, 2 are at A. We know we have a 3-on-1, 4-on-1 at the B bomb site. We just need to find them. And there's only so many places you can be if you're the sole defender of that B bomb site. And it's such chaotic, difficult, high-pressure position to be in as the defender. You can understand why he's missing those shots.
GamerLegion constantly having to go back down to these low buys. Even their buy rounds aren't pretty. Like you mentioned, they haven't been able to get the AWP out. You have to see any impact from Slend in this series when it comes to the sniping duties. Techno this time applying pressure in mid. The AK goes around the corner. And for the first time in a while, the Mongols fumble the opening. CTR able to grab that AK-47 and fall back with the life of Techno.
Can they close out this advantage? That AK-47 needs to do way, way more work. And once again, another stack on this low half-buy round, this time towards the A-bomb site. It's the wrong call, but the rifle, the sole rifle recovered is coming over. Still a lot of utility for the Mongols to utilize on this hit as they slowly pinch, but they have a timer on this. GamerLegion make their move out of A main. They're going to have the information. ZTR knows what's coming. There's the flank with the first kill.
We've seen a 3v5 earlier from the Mongols. Can they do it again? Blitz and Sensu draw the numbers even. The AK for Towson unable to connect onto the bomb planter despite Blitz being low. And for GamerLegion, they start to back away, realizing that a retake from the same position looks impossible. 7 rounds for the Mongols, another 3v5-1, this time against weaker weapons, but the scoreline just keeps ticking up.
I know it's unlikely. I almost feel like with a 1-6 scoreline, you almost go for this, right? This was a half buy. You're going to buy in the next round regardless. Slen's going to have an AWP regardless of what happens. You almost just see if you can have something lucky go in your favor. But not even testing it. GamerLegion backing away, prioritizing that AK-47, prioritizing money and economy for the final 4 rounds of the half. But Mongols have such a disgusting lead right now. As you mentioned, another 3v5 essentially.
Slend has the sniper.
Not sure there's many more rounds if you're GamerLegion that you can back away from an easy situation.
No.
Even, I didn't mean easy, even situations in post plants like that.
You got to go. You got to take some fights. Them. You got to be willing to.
At some point, you got to carve out rounds for the second half.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this AWP can make a big difference here for GamerLegion. One of those players you mentioned earlier that ZTR said was integral to the energy brought to the team is Flamis, yet to get involved, and now 0 and 8 as he gets taken down by 9-10's AWP in the opening of the round. That's a little bit faster through middle here for the Mongols.
No way.
9-10 with a no scope as he looks down from the window to his lowly surf below him. ZTR annihilated. Towson aggressive. Mazinho's got his scent, and he now moves forward, smoked out, and that will cancel Mazinho's move.
Yeah, I'm half surprised he didn't actually make that play. Felt like he might have had a timing, but obviously at a 5-on-3, not feeling really any motivation to get too crazy. Off holding for this move, and 9-10 is just a beast. GamerLegion again picked apart like they're absolutely nothing.
That was a gun round, and he just walks around killing everything in his path. No resistance.
All right, well, Mongols came in today hyper-focused and wanting no problems in their progression to the next stage of the major.
Man, you got to say it has been an impressive run for the Mongols so far at this opening stage. 13-2 in their opening map against Rare Adam. 13-6 to follow up against MIBR. 13-5 on Mirage. And looking like they could get a similar result here on Anubis.
Maybe even a better result on Anubis.
This could be their best performance yet.
Second timeout used by GamerLegion. Ash throwing out some high fives, trying to get the boys ready for these next fights, and everything here has to be committed to just trying to get rounds. You can't give up any more retakes. You have to go for them.
Slend still has the AWP. No one else really has a weapon worth talking about. Mazinho gets smoked out of main. Not allowed to go for his aggressive maneuver that we've seen earlier in the half. And so GamerLegion will occupy it with multiple players. 3, in fact. GTR, Towson, and Flamis. Thinking this is where they get the best opportunity to grab a kill. Now, Mazinho's made a lot of noise on that dismount. They're going to swinging. They're going to fight it. And Mazinho is ready.
Oh my god.
He massacres 3 on the play forward.
Throw in the towel. Throw in the towel. It's done. And you know MongolZ are going to hunt down this last player as well.
You throw 3 players at 1 guy, and he destroys all of you without taking damage. Like, that is, like, he obviously takes some damage on board, but it's just the fact that it makes it look so easy. It's so impressive from Mazinho.
Yeah, I think GamerLegion at this point, after Mirage and after how Anubis opened up, they've just been thrown off their game individually and as a team. Just nothing they've done. None of the adaptations have worked. Aggressive plays have been negated. When they've got opening picks, they've lost it. They've lost 2 3v5s in this half. Or I should say 5v3s.
Well, they are merciful in some way.
Yeah, I'm really.
You're allowed the AWP.
I'm kind of surprised by this. I mean, they don't know he has it, right? He hasn't fired a bullet.
True. And it hasn't killed anybody.
Yeah, and if they did know, they would be hunting it down. Yeah. I'm just surprised that not one single person with all the money and the few rounds remaining went hunting for it. But you know what? I'll give MongolZ a pass because whatever. They're up 9-1.
Yeah, you get to do whatever you want. Highlight performance from 9-10. 10-2 here for Senzu. There's just so much firepower in the MongolZ. I think GamerLegion cannot rise to it today. Last 2 rounds of this half, at least you have the AWP saved over for GamerLegion. Some positives to be seen there, I guess, but rifles for everybody else. And Flamus is just hoping he can end this half with a kill.
Yeah, get off the goose egg. It's had a tough time over at that B bomb site with MongolZ targeting it late when utility's gone, when teammates have rotated away or been picked off. Split on the A bomb site, it looks like. Smoke going to be broken open so Mazinho can get his move. And behind the smoke, it's ZTR. Finally, some of the GamerLegion resistance. And bomb is dropped at his feet. Mazinho is going to continue.
Great hold from ZTR. It's changed the position every time as they were coming through that smoke. Made it difficult for MongolZ to clock the trade. And now with a minute left, Slend revealed his AWP from Heaven strikes down. Headshot from Mazinho back. It's still winnable here for Mazinho, but they come through. And Volt makes sure that Mazinho has no heroics left.
Yeah, it felt like he had a chance in that, but obviously not necessarily expecting, not a great amount of HP. That push to come through the smoke so quickly. They push through before he can reposition. So well done that ZTR's triple doesn't go to waste, but that's the easiest round they've had. MongolZ executing through a camera smoke, and ZTR just gets to sit behind it. I don't think you'll get that kind of fortune in this final round. 9-2. But at least something to cheer for the GamerLegion side.
ZTR not going to enjoy the fact that he's been dinked, but they come through the smoke again. This time ZTR completely blinded, but he's still going to get that kill. No double this time now is 9-10 with another no-scope. His reactions are fast, his accuracy unmatched. And this is MongolZ looking for 10 rounds.
Fair play, ZTR got a very similar situation there coming through smoke, only 1. And MongolZ has been dominant in the mid-rounds. Let's see how they maneuver. 4 on 3. 9-10 again in position, saying at some point you're going to want some information. And GamerLegion fell prey to this position just a few rounds back. All 3 players in mid. 1 temple, 2 camera. Centralized on the map.
Smoke goes out to the temple. Is 9-10 going to win another fight? This time the answer is no. Taliesin to drop the AWPer. And a 3v3 in space created off of that kill.
Oh, now they're going to start moving into the B bomb site. They've got smoke for temple or the cross if they want it. They've got Molotov for temple, but at the moment not giving away the game.
Smokes go down for the cross now as they erupt into the bomb site. Plant being locked in for Senzu. Mazinho is going to play with the AWP inside a connector. And Senzu realizes they could have likely already progressed through temple or CT, so doesn't want to cross onto the platform and open himself up to that risk. But GamerLegion are coming through. 2 from CT, 1 through temple. And the MongolZ hold on. It is tentative for GamerLegion, but eventually they've just got to go, and they line up. Techno only managing one. Flamus on a double back. Finally, his first 2 kills of this half. He'll round it out without the 0, but can he get his team their 3rd round win? Senzu defends against Volt. The tap on the defuse, running out of time, and Senzu plays it to perfection. It will be 10 rounds to round out this first half for the MongolZ, as they are staring down the barrel of a flawless run in the opening stage of the Shanghai Major.
An absolutely beautiful run. Mara's got to be so happy right now. His boys are playing very strong, disciplined, composed, and now they've just wrecked GamerLegion's defense in back-to-back maps. The red carpet's laid out for the elimination stage for the MongolZ. I don't think those notes are going to help him, Dinko.
No. There's a lot of work to be done. I don't know if anybody who's human can help make GamerLegion get back into this game right now.
Only God can help you now. Those notes aren't going to do anything. So just refreshing how they want to play this second half. And it's got to be a God-tier T side from GamerLegion. Ops just wrecking GamerLegion. Anytime they want to make a move, Senzu with a nice 1v2 clutch to close things out. Not even getting hyped and excited because this is just business as usual for the MongolZ.
Composure and confidence are certainly 2 things that the MongolZ have built throughout this year, with titles won, huge steps taken.
And also failures.
And failures to learn along the way. But Mazinho to grab 2 headshots. A 4v2 at the start of the pistol round. And the silencers are off.
And MongolZ have the information of where the players are. So you're going to start seeing this push up the stairs. They're going to calm down. Attention all on Techno. Now Flamus can make his move. Senzu looking for the cross. Tapping away. Flamus does not realize he's been wrapped upon already.
He's dived down. He's got out of the window.
Blitz will have heard that.
And the peek comes in at the wrong time, but no headshot to be landed. Awkward fight with Senzu and Flamus. A very awkward fight indeed. And I think getting away is just a luxury for us all. And we don't want to watch that anymore. Flamus gets into his tempo. He's got a minute. Suddenly a pathway.
Damn.
Blitz stops him from getting around that corner.
Blitz is like, all right, Senzu, I'll show you how it's done. I don't think Senzu hit a single bullet at that range. Maybe getting tagged up by the Glock a little bit. So as crispy as it started, a little bit sketchy at the end. But Blitz is able to shut things down. And man, what a brawl in middle that comes out in the favor of course, the MongolZ.
Oh, GamerLegion invest. They throw everything into this. So this is it for the series. GamerLegion, if they concede this, they will have nothing in the next. And the MongolZ should be taking a comfortable 2-0 victory and a 3-0 run here at the opening stage.
And then if you're GamerLegion, you got to think about the scary factor of, yeah, you went 0-2 in the RMR and then ran off best of 3s to qualify for the major. What if you go 2-0 at the major, and in a world where it's possible you lose all the best of 3s to get eliminated?
That would be the worst case scenario for them. But the MongolZ 12-2, map point secured in a comfortable fashion. No issue against the Tech-9s.
I mean, no issue against the Tech-9s, no issue against the M4s, no issue against the Ops, no issues at all today for the MongolZ. Very cool accomplishment getting into the next stage, but they're certainly, as we've talked about, going to have their sights set higher on a better finish to the major, looking at playoffs qualifying all the way through to the top 8, looking at making a run in those playoffs, and certainly with the improvements they've made across the year, the pedigree of results we've seen from them, the scalps they've already taken this year and various best of 3s, there's potential for this team to have the best major they could dream of.
9-10 holds off the triple push beyond the smoke. GamerLegion eventually trade him out. The damage done. And GamerLegion still ahead on players, but Senzu making sure that he grabs one right at the end. The ball went down for a moment, but Volt to pick it up and dive his way down into the site. He'll plant that in the reverse side of the cake. And MongolZ, we know they don't shy away from retakes. We know they're confident in these fights. They'll have Techno arrive late through the camera. Senzu to come out from heaven. And the first kill locked in on Towson. The last two remaining members of the Legion of Gamers, Volt and Flamus, out at A main. They have got a molly.
Look at the MongolZ util though. 2 more smokes.
Yeah, and this is the team that have started making us take Asian Counter-Strike seriously. This is the greatest Asian team we've had, and they will go 3-0 through the opening stage of the Perfect World Shanghai Major. The MongolZ will march on.
So if a Rare Atom gave us firecrackers, GamerLegion giving us damp squibs, yes, Dinko hit the nail on the head. The MongolZ are indeed the greatest Asian team we got here at the moment.